Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So today is my October wrap up. So October, didn't read as much as I thought I would. Maybe because I was having a lot of fun. So there you go. Anyway, I did complete 6 books and I am going to dig in. So I started the month off with Cotton Season by Adulthood. Now this book is a mystery, and it is taking place at an old plantation house in the South where a murder took place, and there's the who did it situation. I liked it a lot. I thought it was interesting. It was very creepy because of the whole plantation home and certain parts of the plantation home where there was a scene that was like very creepy. Overall, I enjoyed this. It is Attica Locke. She knows how to write a mystery and she knows how to get you engaged. And this one really was perfect for the season, perfect for the mood I was in. And so I enjoyed this. So yeah. The next book is a book that probably my most, I call it guilty pleasure of the year. And that is Careful What You Click For. Now this is Mary B. Morrison. She is an old school author for me back in the days, and I decided to pick up her newest book, and it was a lot of shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans. I actually did I did a read a vlog, not read a vlog. I did just a review of this. I will link it down. But this is one of those get you out of your reading slump because these people were messy. They ranges from their 30s to their 70s. They are out there having sex with people. They're out there doing the most. There's money involved. There's there's some heavy stuff in there as well. But overall, I couldn't put the damn book down. But go check out the review to know whether or not you should pick this up. Yeah. And then I read my fourth man booker, and that is Sugar Bane, Douglas Stewart. Now this book, guys, this book, I would say it is one of the ones on the man booker shortlist that I absolutely love. It is a hard book because it does deal with a son and his mother who is an alcoholic, and their relationship and how heartbreaking this book was. This is not a happy book, but it's a book that felt very realistic in how it talks about people who are struggling, mostly I would say parents who are alcoholics, and raising a child and how it affects the child. But the son in this, he is such an adorable little boy. He grew up to be a young man who had so much care in his heart and things that he wants to do. I love his character. This book didn't it at times I wanted to cry because it was just so sad, but at the same time I think it's one of those unnecessary read where it digs into that topic and you get a slight understanding of what some young kids or children may deal with on a regular basis. And I really love this. I'm rooting for this. That's what I'm saying. Then I read a classic. This is supposed to, guys, this is supposed to be creepy. I thought it was supposed to be creepy. Ain't nothing creepy about this book. It's very realistic. But what's supposed to make it creepy is because it's a memoir told by a dead man. But then it read so realistic, and it read very much like journal entries because the chapters are super short, and it's just moments in this man's life of shoulda, coulda, woulda, regrets, a lot of regrets. There's moments of his loves, women that that came in and out of his life, bad decisions that he's made, career, political endeavor, all of that. But it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I think I wanted it to be creepy, but I still enjoy it. It is a good book. It's just I wanted it to be creepy because I thought it was going to be creepy. And it wasn't creepy at all. So yeah. This is I did a reading vlog on this one too, where I talk more about it. But there are moments where it's messy and entertaining, but it wasn't creepy at all. Then I got to some Octavia. But it's October. I cannot do an October and not read this book. So, Adulthood Rights is, what's the best way I could put it? It's sci-fi. It's the second book in the Lilith Booth. I got it right, guys. And very science heavy. This book, I think, more so for the geeky science head like myself, because it is heavily talk about reproduction, how to manipulate reproduction, sexuality, choosing your sex, the ability to do that kind of deal. I was so fascinated reading this, where I'm like, ooh, I wonder how many people thinking this is possible. Ooh, how crazy is that to think like that? Then I'm like, where does she get this idea out of in her head? Because it's this is the most sci-fi book she has, to be honest. I've read all her books. I literally have one novel I haven't read yet. I looked at the list, and then I have 3 short stories that I haven't read yet. So, which is the third book, and this is the last novel that I haven't read. And she always have a message in her books that are not really how it's how you interpret it sometimes, but also there's this hidden message in there. In this case, these are what you would call alien, and they are taking piece of humanity, mixing with theirs to create this perfect being. And it highlights the part of being human that is very much rotten, the bad side of us as human that they do not want, but the good side that they want, and also their ability to correct what we can't as far as healing ourselves or protecting ourselves in different ways. There's also this idea of sexuality that doesn't necessarily mean intercourse, but more of a spiritual sexuality. The mind connecting, the body connected in a way that is different, that elevates our sexual desire in an interesting way. But then it could really go there on the reproduction again, that was very fascinating, interested, and how the body becomes from a child to an adult. And in this, you see a character in this, how he's the metaphor for where he's developing, but also holding on to the human side of him, because when connecting with the other side of him, there's that human element that can be missing. But you have it's a way where he has to choose between both. It's very interesting. I was very geeked up in this. I know some people didn't enjoy this one as much, but for whatever reason, the science part and the whole twisted elements of what I just spoke about, yeah, I'm standing up today, was interesting, and makes me look forward to the next book, because I really want to know what's going to happen. But guys, I only read one Octavia a year because I'm trying to not finish them all, but I'm almost there. So I'm looking forward to the last book here. And then the book that I know a lot of you guys want to know how I feel, Burnt Sugar. I'm going to just flat out say it's not my favorite, but it's the most complex so far of the 5-man booker that I've read. With that said, when you have books like this, where there's so many theme and interpretation that can be different amongst different readers, it makes it more intriguing, it makes it more desirable, and it also makes it more memorable. With that, I wouldn't be surprised if it wins, but to be realistic, it had so many, the metaphors in this was so much that sometimes it felt like unrealistic, and in some aspect of the story. And if you're not familiar what it is about, it's a mother and daughter relationship. And a daughter, the story is told through the point of view of the daughter as she watches her mother loses her memory, early sign of her memory. And in this story, memory is a very important part because it's not just the mother losing her memory, but it's also a daughter whose memory takes on different forms at time because of one, the trauma, also of not wanting to remember certain things, and also the influence of other people that may even influence that. With that said, there were times where I just felt like it's one of the most like messy mother-daughter relationship, because there are times where the mother was so selfish that she, even from a young age, you can see that because the daughter is you're going present in the past in this book. So the daughter at times is talking about her childhood and what she experienced because of her mother, and then also the current stage. So there's that love-hate moment where she can look at her mother with rage and hatred, but then also that codependent on your mother being there and wanting your mother to be there. That contradicts a lot of what she's feeling. And she also feel invisible at time, because now she never got attention from her mother when her mother was all 100%, and now her mother is not, and she's the caretaker. She's now again back to being invisible, back to not getting the attention or being treated in a certain way. Now, it's a short book in terms of it's only like 229 pages, I think. And because of that, you don't really get a lot of information in terms of the relationship you have with her husband, because it was strange to me why their relationship was so bad. It just felt like, well, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. And you don't know that much. But then also, when motherhood becomes her, she becomes a mother, that cycle of mental health aspect of it kick in, because it's the postpartum that looks like throughout it. And this is a really good book. I'm just gonna say it. But some of the topics were so like, there was too much to try to dissect, that at times it was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's how I was approaching it, because it's so many themes packed in that sometimes I'm reading it and I wasn't there. That's the best way I can put it. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, like, wow, what's gonna happen? And then towards the end, I was not a big fan of the ending in terms of the metaphor that they use at the end. The whole idea of seeing yourself and not being seen. And there's a lot of mirrors in this. There's metaphors about animals in this. I mean, I see why people like this, but for me, it was just, something wasn't like, it was just okay for me. Like, I wasn't blown away. Like, I think it could have been a little longer, perhaps, and more information on certain parts was given. That's the best way I could put it. And then it also made me frustrated again, because I'm reading and thinking, oh God, here we go again, because the published industry is really a big fan of mental health. It is another form, but it's just done in a way where it talks about motherhood and memories and, you know, complicated family dynamic. But it still surrounds mental health. And a lot of the books are just that. It's just, I'm just kind of like, okay, I think I'm a little over it. And so that when something like this comes along that is good, part of me is just like, okay, So I think it's just it's overdone again, where it's just too many books about. So that's the best way I can put it, guys. I know it don't make sense to some of you guys, because I know a lot of you guys love this, but for me it's not a 5-star. Yeah. So I'm done. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, November, I'm ready, guys. So go ahead and head over my Instagram, join in my journal mood, and also join in and watch my videos on my NaNoWriMo experience. Yay. Yay. Bye.